You may think your belly fat is just about looks. But what if I told you it's a warning sign your organs are under siege? Let me tell you a story. In 2014, I met a patient named Julie. She was 49, a hardworking mother of two, fairly slim, no obvious weight problem, but she always felt exhausted. Her blood pressure was rising. Her cholesterol levels were slightly off. She had trouble sleeping and woke up feeling like she hadn't rested. A simple abdominal MRI changed everything. We found visceral fat buried deep inside her abdomen, wrapped around her liver, intestines, pancreas. Not the fat you pinch, the fat that chokes you from the inside. This story isn't unique. Visceral fat doesn't care if you're skinny. It doesn't care if you look healthy. It's silent, deadly, and often ignored. So today, I'm not just giving you another 10-minute workout. I'm giving you a medical weapon. A protocol I've personally refined for patients over the last 15 years. To not only flatten your belly, but extend your life. Let's begin by understanding how this fat works, and why standard crunches won't help you. Part 2. Visceral fat science. Let's dive deep, beyond the mirror, beyond the waistband, into what visceral fat truly is. Visceral fat, unlike subcutaneous fat, which is found just beneath your skin, resides within the abdominal cavity. It wraps around your vital organs, your liver, pancreas, intestines, and even the kidneys. It is not passive. This type of fat is metabolically active, acting like a rogue endocrine organ, pumping out cytokines and hormones that wreak havoc on the body. So why is visceral fat so dangerous? Because it releases pro-inflammatory molecules, such as interleukin-6 and tumor necrosis factor alpha, which contribute to systemic inflammation. This inflammation is at the heart of many chronic illnesses: heart disease, type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, and even certain cancers. In my years of clinical practice, I've seen patients who looked healthy, flat stomachs, normal BMIs, yet had alarming levels of visceral fat revealed through scans. Their lab results showed insulin resistance, high triglycerides, and fatty liver, all silent threats until they manifest as life-threatening disease. Now let's talk hormones. Visceral fat is heavily influenced by stress hormones, especially cortisol. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, and cortisol signals the body to store fat centrally. This is why people under prolonged stress often see fat accumulation around the belly. It's not laziness, it's biology. And age? It doesn't help either. As we age, muscle mass declines, a process called sarcopenia, and basal metabolic rate drops. That means even if your diet stays the same, your body stores more fat, particularly visceral fat. Combine that with hormonal shifts, such as decreased estrogen in women or testosterone in men, and the belly becomes the body's preferred storage unit. Even sleep plays a role. Lack of quality sleep reduces leptin, the hormone that tells you you're full, and increases ghrelin, the hormone that makes you hungry. The result? Overeating, carb cravings, and more visceral fat. So what can we do? Targeting visceral fat requires a multifaceted approach. But let me be clear, you can't spot reduce fat. Crunches alone won't burn belly fat. Planks won't melt visceral fat. What you need is metabolic activation, elevating your heart rate through dynamic movement, engaging large muscle groups, and keeping your body in a fat-burning state for sustained periods. This is why the 10-minute standing abs plus cardio combo is so powerful. It increases oxygen consumption, utilizes stored fat as fuel, and engages the core from a standing position, ideal for those with joint pain or limitations. In short, to defeat visceral fat, you must regulate your stress and cortisol levels, improve insulin sensitivity, enhance your metabolic rate, sleep better, and most importantly, move daily with purpose. Part 3. Workout justification. Let's examine the structure of this 10-minute workout, not just as a trainer would, but through a medical perspective. This workout combines two components: functional standing abdominal movements and short bursts of cardio. The workout alternates between 40-second core-focused intervals and 20-second cardio pulses. This structure is, in fact, a form of high-intensity interval training, HIIT, even if at a lower intensity than traditional forms. And HIIT has been repeatedly shown in medical literature to improve visceral fat reduction and insulin sensitivity, even with workouts under 15 minutes. Let's go deeper. The first move, the standing crossbody knee drive. Biomechanically, this activates the rectus abdominis and oblique muscles. But what's more important is what happens metabolically. As you lift the leg, your body's core engages to maintain balance. For many middle-aged patients, core instability is a precursor to back pain and falls. This movement builds dynamic stability and reinforces neuromuscular communication between the brain and core. Now to the 20-second cardio intervals, the so-called chorus move. These quick lateral steps with arm pull-downs activate the cardiovascular system. Any movement that raises the arms above the heart elevates heart rate, increasing oxygen consumption. This triggers the fat-burning metabolic pathway, especially when repeated intermittently. Then we move to the rotational twist from a standing position. This targets the obliques, but more importantly, improves spinal mobility and thoracic rotation. These are often lost with age and sedentary habits. A sedentary spine means poor circulation, decreased core engagement, and ultimately more fat accumulation in the torso. The triple side reach is a genius combination of isometric core control with mobility. You're reaching across the body, activating transverse abdominis, your deep core muscle, while also recruiting the latissimus dorsi and spinal erectors. It's subtle, but in repetition, this move helps train your core to stabilize during dynamic movement, like walking on uneven terrain or catching yourself mid-fall. Let's discuss the punch plus knee drive combination. This isn't just about cardio. It's a neurological challenge. Fast transitions from punching to knee lifting force the brain to recruit different muscle patterns. This improves motor control and proprioception, critical in aging populations for reducing fall risk and improving agility. Now, why do we return to the chorus move every 20 seconds? From a neurological perspective, pattern repetition is stabilizing. It calms the nervous system while reinforcing movement familiarity. From a metabolic lens, returning to the same cardio burst maintains elevated heart rate, ensuring the body remains in a calorie-burning state throughout the 10 minutes. Then comes the planted split stance plus knee hold. Now we're introducing slow, controlled movement under tension. Why is this valuable? This recruits type 1 muscle fibers, which are fatigue-resistant and metabolically dense. They're excellent for endurance, glucose uptake, and fat oxidation. Plus, the slow tempo enhances mind-muscle connection, teaching the body to activate abdominal muscles intentionally, something many sedentary individuals forget how to do. And finally, the alternating four-knee drive, four-kick cycle. This pattern is particularly effective because it combines vertical and horizontal force, forcing the core to react to both movements. It mimics real-world demands, dodging, balancing, stepping over obstacles. When repeated for just 10 minutes, these patterns activate the entire anterior chain, the heart and lungs, the vestibular balance system, and the brain. This is what makes it effective, not as a fat burner alone, but as a daily reset for your body's movement, metabolism, and mindset. In the next section, I'll show you real case studies from my clinic, people who applied this workout and transformed their health. Because theory is powerful, but real stories? They prove what's possible. Part 4, Real-Life Stories. Storytelling is not just a way to inspire. It's a way to make truth tangible. Let me now take you into the lives of 3 individuals from my practice, each with their own battles against visceral fat. Case 1. James, 63 years old, retired architect, chronic back pain. James had always been active in his youth, but 2 decades of sitting at a drafting table took its toll. By his early 60s, chronic lower back pain and stiffness made even walking uncomfortable. He tried traditional core workouts, but every time he lay on a mat, the pain returned. One day, during a consultation, I introduced him to this 10-minute standing workout. No planks, no sit-ups, I promised. He was skeptical, but within 2 weeks of consistent effort, James began to notice something. His back pain didn't worsen. In fact, it eased. Why? Because the standing moves gently strengthened his core without spinal compression. Over 3 months, James dropped 2.5 inches from his waist and reported the best sleep he'd had in years. His blood sugar stabilized, and he felt 10 years younger. Case 2. Maria, 52 years old, menopausal hormone imbalance, liver enzymes elevated. Maria came to me frustrated. I eat healthy. I walk daily. Why is my belly growing? Her labs showed signs of early fatty liver and elevated ALT/AST levels. She had entered menopause 6 months earlier and was experiencing metabolic slowdown and hormonal chaos. We began the Standing Abs Plus cardio protocol 5 days a week. Within 6 weeks, Maria's waist dropped by nearly 4 centimeters. But more importantly, her liver enzymes normalized. She smiled when she said, "I feel lighter, not just in weight, but in life." Her estrogen-progesterone balance improved, hot flashes decreased, and she reported better mood stability. Movement became her medicine. Case 3. Thomas, 41 years old, busy father, pre-diabetic. Thomas had 2 young kids, a full-time job, and 0 time for the gym. He had a family history of diabetes and was recently told his HbA1c was in the pre-diabetic range. "I can't commit to an hour a day," document, "but I can do 10 minutes." He began the standing workout every morning after brushing his teeth, before breakfast. Within 2 months, his HbA1c dropped from 6.1 to 5.6. He lost 11 pounds, but more than that, he said he finally felt in control. His story isn't about weight loss. It's about choice. 10 minutes each day, consistently applied, created momentum that transformed his entire relationship with health. These stories are not exceptions. They are evidence. Evidence that when we move with purpose, even for just 10 minutes, we awaken powerful biological systems that have laid dormant for too long. In the next section, we'll take this a step further. I'll guide you through a 28-day transformation plan you can follow, complete with strategy, progression, and practical nutrition to support your success. Part 5: 28-day plan full fixed. Let's now turn theory into practice. Here's your doctor-approved, evidence-based 28-day plan for reducing visceral fat through movement and food synergy. This plan is structured to gradually improve metabolism, strengthen your core, reduce inflammation, and restore hormonal balance. Week 1, Foundation, days 1 to 7. Focus, establishing the habit plus neuromuscular connection. Workout, do the 10-minute Standing Abs Plus cardio routine every day, preferably in the morning before breakfast. Intensity, go at 60 to 70% effort. Focus on proper form, breathing, and mind-muscle connection. Nutrition goal, eliminate sugary beverages. Start the day with a high-protein breakfast, e.g., eggs plus avocado. Bonus tip, sleep 7+ hours. It's essential for cortisol regulation. Week 2, Activation, days 8 to 14. Focus, elevating heart rate and engaging metabolic systems. Workout, add a second 5-minute chorus move session in the evening after dinner walk. Intensity, increase to 75 to 80%. Start pushing pace during the 20-second cardio bursts. Nutrition goal, add fiber-rich veggies to every meal. Aim for 25 g fiber daily. Supplement tip, consider magnesium glycinate at night for better sleep and muscle recovery. Week 3, Adaptation, days 15 to 21. Focus, muscle recruitment, core resilience, anti-inflammatory nutrition. Workout, continue daily morning 10-minute sessions. Add resistance bands for arm movement. Intensity, hold balance moves for longer, e.g., knee drive pause for 3 to 4 seconds. Nutrition goal, eat within a 10-hour window, intermittent fasting. Cut all ultra-processed snacks. Hydration tip, 2.5-3 L water/day. Add a pinch of Himalayan salt for adrenal support. Week 4, Integration, days 22 to 28. Focus, recovery, hormonal reset, lasting habit. Workout, keep doing daily sessions. Pick one day for active rest, light yoga, or walk. Intensity, go at your new natural rhythm. You'll notice greater control, breath, and fluidity. Nutrition goal, add healthy fats, olive oil, nuts, wild-caught fish. Ditch seed oils. Reflection, journal your sleep, mood, energy, and waistline progress. Daily structure suggestion, wake up water plus electrolytes, 10-minute workout. Breakfast high protein, low glycemic, e.g., eggs plus greens plus olive oil. Lunch lean protein plus fiber, e.g., grilled chicken plus broccoli. Dinner moderate carbs, healthy fats, e.g., sweet potato plus salmon. Evening walk or 5-minute cardio burst. 9:30 p.m. sleep wind down ritual, no screens, magnesium, dark room. Grocery list, the belly fat shield foods. Protein, cage-free eggs, wild-caught fish, chicken breast, Greek yogurt. Veggies, spinach, kale, broccoli, bell peppers, zucchini. Fats, olive oil, avocado, almonds, chia seeds. Carbs, clean quinoa, sweet potato, berries, oats. Anti-inflammatory, turmeric, ginger, garlic, green tea. Nutrition principles to live by. If it has a commercial, don't eat it. Eat food your great-grandmother would recognize. The closer to nature, the less it causes inflammation. Your food is your chemistry lab. Every bite you take either fights or fuels visceral fat. Your movement is your message to your body, to your hormones, to your longevity. And together, they become your medicine. In the final section, we'll reflect on why this journey matters and how these 10 minutes can become a lifetime habit that rewrites your health story.